What up, YouTube? You already know what it is. It's your boy Karan from the World of Q. And today we're going to dive into the Dave Chappelle Mark Twain Awards. It was released on Netflix a couple days ago. I checked it out last night and I thoroughly enjoyed this. To the people that's been following my channel, you already know how I feel about Dave Chappelle, bro. I think Dave Chappelle is, in my opinion, and I don't mean to disrespect Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin. I feel like Dave Chappelle is the greatest comedian ever. Greatest stand-up comedian ever, followed by Patrice O'Neal. Then we got Pryor, on my top five. I can't. It's hard for me to go through two, and 4 and 5 because so many times I shuffle them. But this was pretty much about them celebrating Dave's journey. From him being a young kid on the road, performing outside, performing at comedy clubs, on the rise, doing a Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy, and just really dominating the comedy scene, like making a name for himself. It's crazy because I was just thinking to myself, like, as I'm watching this and they showing like skits from the Chappelle show, which is, now that everything, the dust is settled, everything's all situated and everything, the Chappelle show is the greatest sketch show ever. And it's not even close. Like, I go back sometimes and I watch it in living color. I guess you could say Mad TV, and a couple other sketch shows, but none of them come close to the Chappelle show. With respect. No disrespect to any of those, like, any of the creators of those. I know they put in, a shitload of hours, just perfecting their craft on that. And, like I said, with respect, I feel like the Chappelle show is the greatest sketch comedy show ever created, man. And, it's unfortunate it was as short as it was, but, like the impact it had on the culture, it was unparalleled. And like I said, just watching those and, seeing them celebrate that and just thinking like, damn, like a lot of times we don't even know, like when we see comedians or just, celebrity. I don't even want to say celebrities, but just people create things, and you don't even know in that moment that what you're witnessing or what you're enjoying is legendary. You don't even know that you're creating iconic moments in history. You don't even know that you're witnessing that, you're a part of that. Like, you're watching the first episode or something like that. And, like I said, as a kid, like I grew up on that. Like I was a kid when Martin was out. You feel me? I wasn't like alive. I was born in '92, so I wasn't really comprehending things when the first episode or anything dropped like that. But when the Chappelle show's first episode dropped, I remember it vividly. Like my dad let me sneak and watch that one night, and the rest is history from there. You know what I'm saying? So I think the first episode was the Clayton Bigsby. Not I think Clayton Bigsby, but the blind racist guy, the blind KKK supremacist. So black guy at that too. So like I said, so many things came from that show, and you can even see like your favorite Instagram comedians or TikTok comedians, whatever, so to speak, YouTube sketch shows. You can see so many people pull ideas from that. Like it's just unparalleled, bro. Like, and thinking about Killing Them Softly, For What It's Worth, like, watching those when I was younger, sneaking watching those with my pops, like, that's what really like in a way, Killing Them Softly was my introduction to comedy. Because I didn't know anything about stand-up comedy prior to that, and a lot of comedians say, their introductory was, or introduction to comedy was Eddie Murphy. When they seen him on Delirious with the red tight jacket on, leather suit on. For me, my introduction was the Dave Chappelle, and Killing Him Softly, because that was the first time I actually seen and knew what a stand-up comic was. Like, oh, what is he doing? Like, 'cause I remember prior to me seeing that, I was watching Def Comedy Jam, and I thought he was doing poetry. I thought he was doing like spoken word. Stand-up comedy kind of is like spoken word to public speaking, because you're still up on stage by yourself, expressing your art. You know what I'm saying? So, but once I knew he was up there telling the story, but also telling jokes in a joke form. Like, that was my first introduction to that, and then ever since then, I just been in love with stand-up comedy. So it's like, to see everything unfold until now, it's like, wow, bro. Like, I've really been alive and like functioning and comprehending and enjoying the groundwork of this man's career. You feel me? And even now with like last year, Sticks and Stones coming out and him just, fucking up the game again. Like, we get to watch masters at work. Like, one thing I love about stand up comedy is that the older a comedian gets, it's like if you're a Star Wars fan, it's like Jedi's. Like, the older a Jedi gets, he may not get physically stronger, but in the Force, he becomes a sorcerer, master, so to speak. And what comedians do, the older they get, because your perspective changes on everything that how you view life. So as you get older, to the good ones, and even the great ones and the legendary ones, like, as you get older, you kind of get like this guru feeling or this mastery vibe about you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they make it look so fucking easy, and then the way they breaking down jokes, the way they're going from setup to punchline, or even the tags and things like that. Like, it's just like it's incredible to watch that, bro. And even watching the comedians, just share stories about Chappelle, or tell their favorite Chappelle story, or to just to say what that man's career has meant to their career and how he's helped them get through. Like, anytime I was having a hard time, bro, I either put on the Chappelle show, Killing Them Softly bit, or For What It's Worth bit, and I would just play it over and over and over again. So I already know what he's done for me, what stand-up comedy's done and is doing for me. But like, to see, how many careers launched because of Chappelle and everything like that. And one thing I did take away from this, is one thing I noticed about all the comedians that, I guess I want to say I look up to, or, celebrities that I kind of look up to, that I feel like are doing the right things, or successful people, I want to say. The one thing I notice about all of them is how willing they are to help other people come up with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just thinking, like, yo, so many people said how, on the come up they met Dave Chappelle and he liked the bit or a joke they had, and next thing you know, I think Tiffany Haddish was saying next thing she knew, she was at bowling at Eddie Murphy's house. Like, just little stories like that. Like, Sarah Silverman had a story, Michael Che and them had stories. Like, it was just so many people that were just like, damn, bro, Chappelle's just been real instrumental, and not just from afar, but like, you never know who's watching, bro. And next thing you know, you got the GOAT watching you, like, hey, yo, you want to go get some drinks or do some mushrooms, like Aziz Ansari did that. And he got a little joke about, he asked Aziz, like, yo, in 20 years when you have kids, do you want to tell them that Dave Chappelle got the award, the Mark Twain Award, and y'all did mushrooms, y'all had the time of your lives, or do you want to say you went home and got some sleep? Like, that was fucking incredible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like I said, whatever you guys set out to do. And there's one little thing in closing. I remember I was watching a Chappelle interview, and I can't remember who he was interviewing, or who was interviewing him, or where he was at. But I know it was a while ago, because he was like real skinny. He was real young, and he said something like his dad told him, like, "Are you sure you want to do stand-up comedy?" This like conversation he had with his dad, and he says something like, I think I'm paraphrasing, but I think Dave Chappelle asked his dad, like, how much a teacher makes. I think his dad was a teacher. He told him like $26,000 a year or something like that, and Dave Chappelle's response was, if I can make that being a stand-up comedian, then I won, because I'm already doing something that I love. And bro, that shit was so fucking dope to me, bro. That shit stuck with me since I first seen that video, because it's like, yo, so many people get into things just for the money, or for girls, like I do myself, or just, for other people to praise you. But it's like, yo, if you're doing it because you love it, eventually, not even eventually, you won. Like, if your passion allows you to make $60,000 a year, bro, guess what? You're clocking in doing something you love, as opposed to going to somebody else's establishment and building their dream, and you hate it. You know what I'm saying? So I just took that away from it. Yo, y'all go check that out on YouTube. Or not YouTube, on Netflix. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all have any difference of opinions, hey, be free to comment down below if you thought it was whack or anything like that, or if you think a different comedian is the GOAT. You already know what it is. It's your boy Karan from the World of Q. Subscribe, like, comment, and share, bro. I appreciate all the views and all the love. We're going to keep churning this thing out, guys. We out.